Hey everyone, what's up? This is Mikedot here for OnRPG, giving you guys a previewed look at the upcoming PvP mode for TERA Rising called Corsairs Stronghold, which is a new 20 vs 20 Battleground mode that will feature a multitude of battles by land, tank, and air. As a basic premise, Corsairs Stronghold is an attack and defend mode where matches consist of 2 rounds, with each team taking turns attacking and defending a giant crystal called an Acre Stone. Unlike previous PvP modes, it's going to take a lot more than brute force and zerging in order to win. Also, unlike previous PvP modes, this mode is available to all players starting at level 30, as gear and stats will be equalized. Skill levels and crystal setups will also be equalized upon entering. The only disadvantage that low-level players will have against max-level players is that low-level players will not be given any new skills to use, so max-level players will be able to trump low levels simply because they have more skills to work with. Playing without a level 60 character still has some advantages, however, such as being able to earn BG credits, so players can get a jump on earning entry-level PvP gear before they've reached max level. Players can also accept and complete special EXP quests for completing matches, so it is completely possible to level up just by playing this new mode. But as mentioned by the producer, earning EXP in this mode is rather slow, so it can't be considered an adequate substitute for leveling up the old-fashioned way. But anyway, getting into the first match, I was paired up with several key members of the En Masse team, including GM Treeshark. With a good amount of experience under my belt, I was pretty much ready to dominate. My party was set to storm the castle stronghold as quickly as possible, while other teams were focused on capturing priors. We had several different options available to break into the stronghold, including Option 1, break down the outer gates. I consider this the safest option as it doesn't take very long to destroy an outer gate with a 5-man group. Tanks can help speed up the process by either attacking the outer gates with teammates or by attacking enemy cannons to protect them. Once the walls are down, attackers can bring the siege tanks up towards the center wall and destroy the main castle gate from a fairly safe distance. Tanks can be destroyed fairly quickly from counterfire, however, so if you take one too many hits, bail out as soon as possible. Option 2, travel by foot or mount to reach the ladders outside of the castle walls. Now this is the second quickest way to get inside, but is also very dangerous, as players are vulnerable to enemy attacks while they're climbing the ladder, or when they've reached the top of the ladder, as enemy defenders could easily camp these spots, setting attackers up for an easy kill. And Option 3, use the airships near the attacker's base, fly straight over the castle walls, and then drop into the enemy base at will. This will allow you to get as close to the enemy crystal as possible, but is also the most dangerous option of all because the airships cannot be controlled and only have predetermined flight paths. The only control that players have over the airship is that players can control when the ship takes off and when each player jumps out of the ship. Now these ships can be shot down by enemy cannons, and also I'm not too sure if players take fall damage when they jump out of the airship, since I didn't get a chance to ride in one myself, but I'm going to assume that players do take damage, which would also add another layer of caution when using. Despite the risk, we went with Option 2 and climbed up the ladders from the left side. There was no one around to camp us, but things quickly turned brutal as enemies were firing cannons directly at us, and they did massive amounts of damage. At that point, any sort of team dynamic was thrown aside, and it was kill or be killed. But me personally, being the awesome slayer that I am, managed to kick all sorts of ass, except for the time that I ran too deep into the enemy territory and the entire enemy team was on my tail, and I think I ended up doing this at least 3 times during a match. So yeah, just like in Battlegrounds, it's never a good idea to overextend. But as we moved on, our aggressive attack on the main crystal met with some heavy resistance. As the main gate was destroyed, it turned into a huge choke point for my team, so a few sneaky players, including myself, took a detour to the left side of the castle. Once we got a drop on enemies from behind, we managed to break up the choke point and we started our attack on the crystal. Despite our best efforts, however, we were unable to destroy the crystal within the 15-minute time limit, but we managed to get a very good lead with around 2,000 hit points. So now we had to prevent the enemy team from lowering our crystal past 2,000 points in order to win. We rushed over to the upper walls, and I was able to take control of a cannon in an attempt to stop enemies, but they managed to break through the left outer wall pretty quickly. They started to storm the upper walls in an attempt to capture the main prior, but we managed to hold them off for several minutes. However, most of our team was being distracted by this attack, while another enemy group was busy taking out the main castle gate using siege tanks. It was a cunning strategy as they took down our main castle gate with ease, but they only had a few minutes left on the clock, so my team was able to defend the crystal with plenty of points to spare. The match ended with our team winning with 5,828 points left on our crystal, so needless to say, it was a pretty one-sided victory. Overall, I had a lot of fun trying out this new mode, as it certainly holds a lot of potential to create some epic battles that require some real teamwork outside of just mindlessly zerging from point A to point B. It's also a great way for low-level players to get exposed to a balanced form of PvP, which will ensure plenty of active players for months to come. And that's all the time I have for this preview, and if you'd like to learn more about the games featured in this video, just check out the links in the description below. But as always, don't forget to hit that like button. This is Mikedot saying over and out.